Welcome back, Fear Fiends, to the Chillergeist Horror League. We're diving deep into the mossy, unsettling roots of terror with the folk horror division. Today, we have a metaphysical matchup that pits primal, cunning evil against something ancient, colossal, and deeply, deliciously alien. Boris, I can practically smell the sulfur and goat's breath.
Affirmative, Doctor. We are observing a significant clash between two entities with high mythological integration indices. Their terror generation stems from pre-modern, environmental factors, promising a high-yield existential dread metric.
Exactly. But before we dive into the numbers, let's look at the career trajectories of our two terrifying contenders. In the blood-red corner, Black Phillip aka the Witch. He is less a monster and more a philosophical statement on temptation and the price of freedom in a stifling, puritanical world. He truly is a tempter in the most exquisite sense. Boris, what do you make of his profound impact?
Subject Black Phillip's operational lifespan is statistically difficult to quantify, as his narrative suggests a timeless, almost endemic, malevolence. His rookie impact factor within the Witch narrative is an extremely high 9.8, indicating immediate and devastating influence. His consistency rating for character function as a deconstructive catalyst remains at a statistically significant 99.1%. He efficiently leveraged the subject's existing psychological fractures, making every single act deeply personal.
Precisely. He's not just a goat, he's the irresistible promise of power whispered in the dark woods. And then, in the corpse blue corner, we have the colossal, incomprehensible figure from the ritual, the Jötunn ancient god.
Subject Jötunn, or Modi in certain undocumented texts, is an entity of vast, ancient power, whose operational methodology involves passive intimidation and the leveraging of extreme psychological duress via spatial manipulation. His dimensional scale metric is statistically significant, making conventional comparison difficult. His future prospects remain robust, contingent upon the continued existence of isolated Scandinavian wilderness and susceptible, emotionally compromised subjects.
Precisely. So, we have the master of the subtle whisper versus the architect of crippling, existential scale. Who truly dominates? Let's dive deep into the numbers that define their terror. Stay tuned for the tale of the tape. Welcome back to the Chillergeist Horror League. Boris, the tale of the tape is ready. Let's start with a classic, total confirmed kills.
Subject Black Phillip's confirmed kill count is low, at 4 across his single primary cinematic appearance. However, this count is misleading, as his focus is subject acquisition and societal deconstruction, rather than blunt termination. Conversely, Subject Jötunn's direct mortality count is estimated at 7 across its single documented appearance. This translates to a highly focused elimination rate of threats to its operational territory, prioritizing quantity over conversion.
Fascinating. What about kill efficiency rating? Who gets the job done faster once the terror begins?
Analyzing active screen time, Subject Black Phillip maintains a calculated 0.9 conversion events per active screen minute once the final bargain is offered. His operational sequence is swift and focused. Subject Jötunn, conversely, averages 0.3 subject reconfigurations per minute once territorial parameters are violated, indicating a prolonged period of psychological degradation preceding the final act.
So Black Phillip is all about the quick, seductive closure, and the Jötunn savors the slow, agonizing mental breakdown. Next, weapon versatility score. Who has the broader toolkit?
Black Phillip's weapon utilization versatility is exceptionally high, registering 15 distinct methods of subject influence across his appearance, including linguistic manipulation, illusion casting, and psychological corruption. His signature horn apparatus and associated familiarity transformation are key elements. Jötunn's tool utilization is focused on raw physical presence and the creation of fear hallucinations, such as the recurring image of the hanging corpse. High proficiency within a narrower specialization.
A master of trickery versus an ancient mountain of terror. Fascinating. What about their durability and resurrection count?
Subject Black Phillip, demonstrating an inherent dimensional integrity, renders traditional termination metrics inapplicable. His remanifestation count is limited to 1 instance after a disguise shift, indicating a high baseline durability. Subject Jötunn, an entity of ancient physiology, is similarly invulnerable to conventional termination metrics, relying on environmental protection for sustainment. Both are statistically superior, registering a perfect 10/10.
A master of trickery versus an ancient mountain of terror. Fascinating. Preferred pursuit method and speed?
Black Phillip exhibits a deliberate cadence of 0.7 miles per hour in his goat form, but his telepathic influence acquisition rate is 99.5%, regardless of perceived distance, effectively nullifying traditional proximity metrics. Jötunn maintains an average running cadence of 15 to 20 miles per hour, often materializing within the target's visual range, resulting in a 90% direct engagement success rate upon manifestation.
Black Phillip creeps into the mind, while the Jötunn is a terrifying locomotive of bone and sinew. Finally, the overall fear factor iconic presence score.
Based on consensus, Black Phillip maintains a 9.3 philosophical terror coefficient, particularly due to his pervasive influence over the subconscious and his unique blend of sadism and dark humor. Jötunn registers an 8.7 primal dread coefficient, derived from his intellectual menace and the fundamental horror of his dimensional paradigm. Black Phillip is higher ranking.
Excellent, Boris. Now, for the artistry of terror. Let's talk about stalking prowess. Who demonstrates the patient, silent grace of a hunter? I'm looking for the exquisite tension of the pursuit.
Jötunn's stalking efficiency score is a remarkable 95.5% within its forested operational territory, leveraging spatial incongruity manifestation and auditory misdirection. Highly effective, if somewhat lacking in predictable trajectory. Black Phillip stalking is replaced by internal ingress, resulting in a 100% target engagement rate once conditions are met. His approach is insidious thought, not physical movement.
Efficient, but less of the cat-and-mouse thrill. Now, psychological play. Do they relish the fear they induce? I'm looking for the mental disintegration before the physical.
Jötunn consistently achieves an average pre-termination psychological distress rating of 9.5, primarily through auditory manipulation, hallucinatory environmental distortion, and the activation of latent subconscious guilt. His fear-to-scream conversion rate is statistically superior, demonstrating high-yield return on minimal physical exertion.
The Jötunn is the ultimate sadist of the psyche. Black Phillip, however, is a master of manipulation. He doesn't play with fear, he offers enlightenment through agonizing sensation. Now, weapon selection and execution. Is the kill a messy splatter or a purposeful, decisive act?
Black Phillip's experimental deconstruction rating averages 9.7. His methods induce ontological disorientation and sensory overload. Jötunn's tool utilization is focused on blunt force trauma inherent in its physical size. While effective, its termination methods often involve grotesque, high biofluid disbursement events, indicating a focus on primal destruction over clinical efficiency. His aesthetic impact score for individual kills is 8.0. Black Phillip's tool utilization is focused on precision to lethality ratio, minimizing biofluid disbursement for a higher aesthetic impact score, 9.5, due to the methodical deconstruction of form.
Black Phillip creates living sculptures of agony. Utterly divine. Next, territory dominance. Does the villain command their environment, making the very air shiver with their presence?
Jötunn exhibits a 100% environmental control factor within its designated forested operational zone. Target ingress into this area directly correlates with elevated fear metrics and high mortality rates. His domain is absolute and adaptive. Black Phillip's transcendental control factor is 100% within the subject's psyche and associated temptation realm egress points. His presence defines the very geometry of torment.
He doesn't just dominate his territory, he is the territory. Finally, signature flair. What's that personal touch that separates the common killer from the truly iconic?
Jötunn's distinct skeletal antlered form and pre-termination raw delivery achieve an 8.5 iconic presence score. Black Phillip's philosophical pre-engagement monologues and vocal seduction are definitive signature markers, achieving a 9.6 iconic presence score. Black Phillip is the high-tier icon.
Welcome back, Fear Fiends. The winner is Black Phillip the Witch. While the Jötunn is physically massive and terrifying, Black Phillip is a more insidious, pervasive evil. He doesn't just kill you, he makes you willingly choose your own doom, which is a far more terrifying form of horror. The Jötunn is a monster, but Black Phillip is the devil in the details. There you have it, Fear Fiends. Tune in for another match. Until then, stay scary.